What is up, everyone? Today we have a Stihl, it's a hedge trimmer, and the problem is it runs fine. But look at that primer bulb. It's pretty nasty. So the owner had a couple of bad experiences. They got that age, broke. It will run, not very well, leaks fuel, bad stuff. So we're going to replace it. It's not as hard as it looks. It's actually pretty easy. You will need a brush or compressed air, or brush and compressed air, a screwdriver, hex bit, maybe an impact to make it easier on yourself, but that's not needed, and a replacement bulb. So we're going to go ahead and get that replaced, and then we'll give it a try to make sure everything is not leaking and good to go, and then this one should be on its way. Well, hold on there. Over 90% of you, according to YouTube, are not currently subscribed. You're watching this video, but you're currently not subscribed. So I'm going to welcome you to subscribe at the end if this helped you out. I work on a lot of machines, so maybe the machine you're watching is going to be something you own, but who knows? Maybe you own a generator, a pressure washer, a big mower, a chainsaw, a variety of things. The only way to know if I'm going to fix it in the future is by subscribing, and maybe I get to the one that you own and can help you out then too. So I welcome you to subscribe, put a thumbs up if it does help you out. Back to your normal video. And here we go. We have a replacement. Make sure it's clean. We are going to be removing the cover. Oh yeah, you also need either an 8mm or a 5/16 bit. I even forgot about that till right about now. While you're in here, check the air filter. That looks fine. Actually looks really good. I'm happy. The 8mm or 5/16 is to remove the nuts that hold this on. We're going to want to not remove the carb, even though that probably would be a better idea. I think we're going to need a 5/16 for this one. And we're ready. So now, this is the part we're going to actually probably want to use a small towel. And we're going to want to kind of just cover the intake a little bit, or even just close the choke. Might be better. And we're going to take our carb and we're going to bring it out a little bit. Take it. It's going to be dirty, as you can tell. But we're going to try to scrape off as much of this dirt as we can. At this moment, if you do have a compressed air, we're going to want to take that side piece off too. Yours probably will be different, but it's all pretty much the same. This one has a seal on it, which is making it difficult. So I'm going to blow compressed air, get that cleaned up as much as I can. Pretty sure I said seal. It's not a seal, it's a crank vent. And the cutting causes this to be a little difficult to remove from time to time. Ooh, that was a big piece. Like right now. But we have enough where we can get in access to these four. Let's clean this up a little bit. I'm sure watching me undo 4 Phillips head screws is boring, so I'm going to undo the others and we'll be back. At this point, it's important to note you do want to make sure you keep this very clean, because if you don't, you can get dirt in the intake. I need my screwdriver, but it's being used right now. There we go. Go grab my other screwdriver. Real small screwdriver. And we're also going to remove the pressure from the tank, just in case. we go. At this moment in time, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and check the condition of your diaphragm down there, but not too worried about it right now. It runs. Okay, now that's clean. Put the new one in. Make sure that's clean. Put the new one on top, like so. Just get these started. Don't need to tighten them all the way down yet. And when you do tighten them all the way down, you want to make sure you're not over tightening them. This isn't like a wheel where you need to make sure you have a very tight connection. This is a piece of metal sandwiching a piece of plastic. Now the back two I will be tightening all the way. Mainly because I can't get to those very easily. A pair of pliers will be my friend. Sausage fingers over here. Can't quite reach. There we go. There we go. Tighten that. Tighten that. That could have been cleaner, but we are pretty good. Make sure nothing is down to choke. It's not. Perfect. Now we put this back on. Let's go ahead and put the two 8mm back on. It's a very tight squeeze in there. There we go. Now, we want to make sure our tank is tight. We're going to test it. Make sure there's no leaks. I don't see any leaks. I don't smell any leaks. Smell is a pretty important one. Unless you have the fuel tank open, probably not going to be smelling a whole lot of fuel. There we go. So now let's go ahead and we will let it run a little bit. Let me look at that. Let's see. It's like cracking. Well, not cracking. It's starting to show distress. But it's good that we replaced it. It's a cheap little part, and it's something that can cause a real big headache if you don't replace it routinely. I'm going to go ahead and get this started. This already ran, but just in case, running will help kind of cycle the fuel and can expose a little bit of a leak. Or we did kind of remove it. It potentially could have a vacuum leak. Maybe we ripped the gasket, don't know yet. This already ran, but just in case, running will help kind of cycle the fuel and can expose a little bit of a leak. Or we did kind of remove it. It potentially could have a vacuum leak. Maybe we ripped the gasket, don't know yet. let it run for about 2 or 3 minutes. Looks dry. So we should be good to go. If your Stihl or pretty much any equipment has this problem, quick and easy process, especially for a Stihl. They're all pretty much exactly the same. Little differences here and there, but the same process. I'm going to go ahead and leave you at that. Follow me on Instagram, SmallEngine101. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I know it's technically not a primer bulb, it's a bulge bulb or whatever. People know it as primer. That's what I'm going to call it. So we'll leave that comment by itself. I'm going to go ahead and leave you. Have a good night. Subscribe. Good evening. I let it run for about 2 or 3 minutes. Looks dry. So we should be good to go. If your Stihl or pretty much any equipment has this problem, quick and easy process, especially for a Stihl. They're all pretty much exactly the same. Little differences here and there, but the same process. I'm going to go ahead and leave you at that. Follow me on Instagram, SmallEngine101. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I know it's technically not a primer bulb, it's a bulge bulb or whatever. People know it as primer. That's what I'm going to call it. So we'll leave that comment by itself. I'm going to go ahead and leave you. Have a good night. Subscribe. Good evening.